Oh, how many of you out there feel just like that? How many of us carry that rage inside of us from our day, our week, our month, and maybe even for years? We get home from a hard day's work. Your boss reams you out. You're driving through traffic. People cut you off. And inside, you're just raging, blood boiling. You pull into the driveway of your home. You get out of the car, come up the stairs, open the door. Kids are screaming. Your wife doesn't even look at you, doesn't even acknowledge you're there. And then something happens. Boom. You lose it. That rage comes out. You yell at the kids. You push your wife. You smash dishes. You punch holes in the wall. That rage for the longest time has been trying to tell you something. Something's not right. Something needs to be said. Something needs to be expressed. And that rage that you saw me show earlier is a tool that I've learned to be able to express that rage in a safe, healthy way. And I know it seems weird because I'm pretty sure if I did that down the street, people are like, what's wrong with that guy? But
there's a science to it. We were talking about this off air. There's a science to it.
There's a science to it. And the thing is, we carry a lot of our rage and our tension in the cervical spine of our neck. And that rage, as you notice, I kept my head down, my chin down, and I want to bring that resonating sound through the cervical spine of my neck to release that anger, tension, that rage.
Okay.
And instantaneously, it puts you in a different energy. That particular one brought me down to a bit of a cry and then a laugh, because then I see how ridiculous it is to be so angry for so long.
For holding on to something that should have never been rage to begin with.
Well, rage ends up having, rage isn't just one thing, right? Rage is a layer after layer after layer after layer on top of it. You know, the original wound. And that rage is mirroring something that you haven't dealt with.
Or maybe you've dealt with it, but it just keeps reoccurring.
Correct. That could be it as well. So, but if it keeps reoccurring and it's still triggering you like that,
right,
then there's something that needs to be healed. There's something within there that keeps making you angry and it keeps hurting you. It's a wound that has not been dealt with. So you become curious about that.
So let me give you a scenario before you get into this episode.
Sure.
If someone is dealing with something and they've talked about it to their spouse, for example, and it just keeps happening. Now, they have this rage, but they've come to the realization that this rage is silly. It's ridiculous. They're wondering why it's still affecting them, but they can't shake it. So what would you say to the people that are aware of it, but they just can't shake this feeling?
I say you're going to have to find a modality that will bring that to the surface. So some of the modalities I've learned through my Man on Fire are called conscious exercises, 12 stages of healing. So maybe I have to connect with my bioenergetic intelligence to find out where the suffering lies in my body. Or maybe it's part of my emotional energetic intelligence that needs healing. Or it could be the fact that maybe I'm just don't have enough lower mind energetic intelligence to get out of my head to spin
Maybe you're
that
just
same
hurt.
thoughts.
Maybe you're just hurt. You know,
So you most likely, if it's just hurt, you're suffering. So people don't realize one thing. Our lives and the reason why we suffer is because we're shitty sufferers. We do not want to feel the suffering.
is that human nature?
No, it's not human nature.
Oh.
It's been taught to us over the year that life should be easy. You look at all the generations before our grandparents.
Sure.
Okay. I'm talking about, like, say, anybody born before 1910.
Sure. That was hard.
Okay. You want to see suffering? That was suffering.
If you don't get food, you don't eat.
Yeah.
That's
Like
it.
you're hunting your own food. Nothing was like, here, you hungry? Go to the supermarket.
Sure. No water, no electricity,
No running.
all of that. No running water, none of that.
No sewer systems.
No sewer systems.
Pollution. You think, like, people talk about, like, the pollution from the industries. People were dying, all sorts of crazy things. No Medicare, nothing. Like, it was a very tough time.
No medicine. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're very blessed to be here
Sure.
and born and raised at this time. Be able to live at this time is just incredible. Okay. But at the end here, you have to be able to stop running away from the suffering and turn around and face it. You have to face the fire. You have to, whatever that is. And a lot of times people bury it so deep because they carry a deep amount of shame. And I'm going to say that in my experience, men have a very hard time expressing their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And also men are afraid to express rage because they know that you could hurt somebody. So
Mentally, physically, emotionally, all that.
all that,
Yeah.
like, I know that I grew up in a household. My dad was a yeller, and he'd come home and he's like, they stay stuff because they're just angry.
Yep.
And then afterwards, after you lose it and you tell your wife what a useless piece of shit she is, and your kids are fucking horrible, and you guys, I can't believe I hate you guys. I wish I never had you. Like, all that sort of shit that we tell people when we're angry. Those words, like the last episode,
Mm-hmm. That's right.
they hurt.
Of course they do.
They create deep wounds.
More than someone smacking you.
And then as the father who said that, carried great shame because I was not able to have a way to express my rage, my anger. Listen, sometimes my wife and I'll have conversations and they make me angry. Whatever reason.
Sure.
I excuse myself. So I'll be right back. We are naturally made to make sounds, and we don't use it enough, right? We are frequencies, all of us. And they're taking away more and more frequencies that are healthy for us and adding ones that don't work. So I'll give you a great example. Stefano, if I kicked you in the shin really hard right now,
Mm-hmm.
what's your first reaction?
To knock you out right away.
Besides that?
No, I would, so in all honesty, I would actually ask myself, why did that just happen?
Well, okay, let's say I'm not going to kick you. Let's say you trip
Okay.
on the stairs and you when you scrub your
Yeah,
shin.
of course.
You know
I'd
what
be
that feels
very
like?
upset.
Okay, like, first of all, what's your first reaction?
I would be in pain. Pain would be
Okay.
my first reaction.
Okay, so while you're experiencing that pain, what's the first thing you do?
I don't
Think
know.
about it. You don't
Think about like who caused me this pain?
Okay, so you fall down, scrape your knee. The first thing you go is like, oh, God, right?
Yeah, but you're not blaming anyone.
You're not blaming anybody, but you're making
just
the noise
pissed
for
at
the
it. Yeah,
pain.
just-
You're expressing
exactly.
the pain
Sure.
through noise. Like anybody, if you break your arm, you're like, These are all natural sounds that we make to cope with the pain.
I like it.
So when you want to cope with your rage, right? That rage that you just like can't hold it anymore. It's asking to be released, not suppressed, but released.
We don't really know how to do that though,
Exactly.
because this isn't a physical pain. This is an emotional pain.
This emotional pain. It could be your fatigue. Like people rage for all sorts of rage. Some people get hangry. There's all sorts of
sure.
ways people rage. But what I want you to the rage itself is not evil. The rage itself is trying to tell you that you need something to deal with. Okay. And as part of us trying to say that we've had enough of whatever is going on, and sometimes you take it out on the people who are not causing it,
Okay.
but it's just telling you it's enough is enough. I've had enough. I need to release this energy. So emotions are energy in motion. And if you don't give the energy and motion some place to be expressed, it will end up somewhere you don't want it to be. So people who, for example, like me, when I don't want to talk about things, and this is long ago, I held these emotions in my body and then my neck would freeze up.
Okay.
Because that emotional energy had no place to go. So I would always have this really stiff neck.
Sure.
And when I finally came clean and expressed myself fully, I've never had it since.
Can I intervene? There are some people like myself that all I want is to be heard. And to be honest, you know where my rage and my tension goes away? The second the person I'm speaking to says, I hear you. You know how that releases the tension from my neck. As soon as I realize that I'm not just yelling or screaming in vain, where whomever I'm talking to says, I hear you, I'm hearing what you're saying. I think a lot of people have this rage, correct me if I'm wrong, because they're not heard or they're not felt, or maybe they're alone in all of it.
I think that most are rage because they never had the courage to speak up the first time around.
Okay.
So let's just say you and I have a tiff.
Sure.
Okay, whatever. You took the wrong angle shot.
Sure.
Made me look weird. Sure. Whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
And I said, Stefan, like, I don't really appreciate this, blah, 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 yeah,
Sure.
yeah. And you're like, well, go fuck yourself, man. I'm the artist here. You're like, what do you,
Exactly.
blah, blah, blah. And we go back and forth. So I don't say anything. All right, whatever, Stefan. Okay. Then I kind of pushed that down. And then some guy across the street cuts me off, blows me the finger,
Right.
nearly runs me over. It's one other thing. And then I come home, my kids are disrespectful. They're running around like feral cats and everyone's running around. Okay, that's another thing. And then I get my wife who doesn't even look at me because I'm not in the energy for her to see me.
Sure.
Because I'm already angry, gets piled up. So rage is just a bunch of anger compressed, and it's a bunch of things that we never expressed. So instead of me going, look, Stefano, I'm just bringing this to your attention because I care about our relationship.
Of course.
Right? So can we next time maybe not do that? And you'd be like, yeah, so I'm really sorry. Like instead of talking it out in a sense that we both feel heard.
Of course.
Right? I understand you have your artistic side. You understand that makes me feel insecure. Can you help me out here? That's a different conversation, right?
Of course. Well, in most time, both parties are fully aware of what's happening. So if you have a problem with the camera angle and then you brought it to my attention, I now understand what you're saying. But if someone just instantly says, man, you're really shit, instantly you're sending the tone for something that's going to happen that's not right. And it doesn't make any sense because now both of you are raged.
Well, that's right. So now you're offended. I'm offended. You're trying to be right. I'm trying to be right. Instead of coming from a place of understanding, and that's part of communication too, as one of the pillars of integrity.
Yeah.
Is to clearly communicate. Hey, Stefano, like my dad was really bad at this too, right?
Of course.
And we were all like, just hey, this is bullshit. Like
Yeah.
everything's bullshit. But if I came to you in my full integrity, instead of taking offense to it, because I'm pretty sure you're not going to do that on purpose, right? People think you do something, you did it on purpose. Sometimes you do it unintentionally. So I go, Stefano, look, I saw that camera line. Look, honestly, I don't really like it. It makes me feel really uncomfortable because I don't really like the way my man boobs look or whatever. And you go like, let me see. Yeah, I can see what you understand. Okay, no problem. I'll edit that out.
Sure.
We'll change the angle next time. We'll make sure no one use this. Do you still want to use this footage or do you want me to edit that whole part out? Whatever. And you say, yeah. Then because I spoke my truth
Sure.
and you were able to hear me, I don't have to come to you and go, Stefano, what the
Exactly.
fuck? Nah, nah, nah."
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, and I'm not saying you should blow up on everybody every minute, release that stuff, but like you should have enough control over your emotions that you can take a place that's quiet, safe, that you can make sure that nobody else is affected, whether it's your car, in a bathroom, take a pillow. Pillows are great for raging. You can just use a pillow.
You know what a lot of people use? Tell me if you ever used it. You know those tension balls or tension grips? The ones that they cause. Does that work?
Listen, I think that if you're a stress ball, they call it,
Stressful.
if you're at your desk and you're talking the phone and stuff like that, I think that physical motion is always good to release stress. I
Like
think,
going to the gym.
but yeah, you know what? It's not, listen, it's not just rage like that. If you need to get it done, like that rage actually I did in the beginning is instantaneously. You'll feel it within 5 seconds. You'll get that energy come from your head all the way down. Just you'll see it dissipate through your whole body. And you're like,
It's kind of like you're zenning yourself.
you're zenning yourself.
Okay.
Right? It's kind of like almost when you're in pain, when you're something hurts and you squeeze it really hard to make it hurt really a lot,
And then it doesn't hurt as much when you're like,
yeah,
oh.
it's a kind of the same thing. Exercise, get moving, run, go. And if you like boxing classes, go do that. If you want to do jumping jacks, I think that if I'm in a high stress area, I want my body moving because I need that energy flowing through my body.
Beautiful.
Right? So
what else you got on that list?
Well, I said like the rage is the voice of every moment you felt disrespected and stayed quiet.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that.
We did, and that's rage.
Yeah. Every time you feel unseen, unheard, unappreciated, you swallow it down because you did not want to look weak.
And then you're choking on it after.
Now you're choking on it, right?
Yeah.
It's all part of your soul that's tired of pretending everything is fine. And that's what we do as men. We pretend everything is fine because we're afraid of being vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And part of able to express your rage in a safe way is allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and especially to yourself. Like when I was going through my journey, I would do a rage every single day, sometimes twice a day.
What do you mean? Would you do a rage? What do you mean?
So that's screen. That's called a rage.
So now, how could that work though if you're not angry? You know what I mean? If you're not angry, how does that work?
You know what? It also releases the feeling of betrayal, especially self-betrayal. Like, oh, I promised myself I did this and I didn't do it. So maybe you just want to take a quick rage in the car. And it's not about releasing just anger. Sometimes it's just about moving the energy through your body so you feel calm.
Sometimes you just got to yell it out.
You know what? We're designed to make noise.
Okay.
Even if you look at all the ancient meditations, there's always sound. And that is part of our expression.
Now, what about if someone is so raged? They go to that significant person that caused them to be that angry, and they say to them exactly what's on their mind. And the person turns and says, "You're right. I'm sorry." But guess what? That person is still angry. So how do you now release something that should be released since the adjacent partner or the person that caused it has admitted that they made a mistake? Why can't that raging person not let it go?
I think it takes a little bit of time.
So time is the thing.
So what happens is like you and I get in a fight, right? We're fighting back and forth, bickering.
Why are you and I fighting so much?
I don't know. You're my producer right now. Okay. So because you're here. All right. Well, like I say, me and my wife fight.
No, save me. That's fine.
We go back and forth a few times, right? I'm like, Stephanie, you know what? I am so sorry. You know what? Looking back at it, I was out of line. I really am. And you know what? I can't believe that I took it this far.
You're saying it to me.
I'm saying this to you.
Okay.
I'm sorry that I'm really, really sorry. I realized, you know what? It was my fault. I'll take responsibility for that. And I can't believe it. I took it this far. And I know you're upset. I know you're angry.
Like that.
I know you're upset. You're angry. And I know that we're going to probably talk about this for the next 15 minutes. But I'll tell you one thing. Like, it's my bad, dude. I am really honestly, I'll make sure it never happens again.
See, now that should dissipate everything 100%.
But your emotions are still going.
But that's what I'm saying. But after someone says that to you, why would the emotion still be going?
They still have residual
leftover shit.
Yeah, they still have residual stuff, right?
Okay.
And they still probably haven't processed the fact that you're taking responsibility for it. So at that time, if you still feel agitated,
right.
Go.
What do you do?
Rage. Just fucking rage.
So you still say that the people, even though they heard this, they still should release the shit that's in them.
Release that. I'm telling you right now, you release that rage. And then all of a sudden, as soon as you release that shit, dude, all of a sudden, like, you know what, Stefano?
I was reasoning.
You know what? Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And you know what? All forgiven. Let's move on.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like spraining your ankle. Like, you walk it off. You're like, oh fuck that hurt. Oh. It takes a little time. Like, I don't know any fight ever in my life that just ends like that.
There's no fight.
I'm just saying, like, every argument, even my wife, like, we're gonna have conversations. We know that we've addressed it, but that you still have that residual energy going around, and and sometimes we all know it, but I understand why you did that. And my question to you is, why do you, like, I don't understand why I did it. So that's the question most people want to answer. Like, Stefano, why'd you do that? Like, seriously.
And the rhetorical answer, which always happens to me 9 times out of 10, is I was angry. That is the answer that they'll give you. Why? Because any reasoning suddenly sounds like a stupid response, because now they realize themselves that it was a stupid argument to begin with.
How about I give you a better answer?
Tell me.
I don't know why I did it.
That's not a good answer.
I'm just going to tell you right now, like, as much as I try to reason with it, even though I knew that was wrong, would hurt you, I still did it. And I probably just hope you didn't ever want to find, you're going to find out about it. So I just want to let you know that was a very selfish thing for me to do.
Do you think that's a good or bad answer?
It's the truth. Most people don't know why they do shit.
Most people don't want to hear the truth, dude. They really don't.
You know what they say? You want to offend a strong man, tell him a lie. If you want to offend a weak man, tell him the truth. So what I'm trying to say here is that when you communicate with somebody, it's got to come from a place of truth, honor, empathy, and integrity. So yeah, sometimes you're not going to like it. You're going to say, well, I still don't get it. No, it's not for you to get. It's for me to get, not for you to get. Like, I'm not doing that again. So it's for me to get, not for you.
Last episode, you dropped us off with a cliffhanger. I'm hoping that you have one for me this one.
All right.
Or else I'm going to get pissed.
I do have a cliffhanger for you. Ready?
Yes.
So, my brothers, if you are carrying rage, don't be ashamed of it. Honor it. Get curious about it. Don't let it own you. Find a safe place to express it through movement, breath, rage, voice, or truth. Because when you release the rage consciously, you reclaim your power. You become a man who feels deeply but doesn't drown in it. A man who can hold his fire and use the light to light the path for others. Rage is not what makes you broken. It's what's asking you to be healed. And when you meet it with love, it becomes strength, becomes truth, it becomes freedom. And that is the real work.
You hit me with the goosebumps again.
Try, buddy. Listen, everyone, this is the Integrity Project with Stefano and myself. I'm your host, Roy Cocholo. If you like this content, please like, share, comment. We love to hear from you. And have yourselves a wonderful day. Until next time, the Integrity Project.